it's MK, and I am here with another Mixed Media Mayhem layout for you guys today. I am also playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, and this is the sketch that I will be playing with today by Melinda Barkman. So I am going to be documenting these fabulous little flamingos that we found in, I want to say, Roatan or Costa Maya. I'm not really sure. So I picked out 2 of the flamingos from my shop that have little sunsets or sunrises inside them. I also have a bunch of little scraps of burlap that I would like to try to include in this kit. And then I pulled out some scraps that were actually from the 2024 cruise kit that I didn't realize. This is from the 2020, Yes, this is from the 2025 cruise that we went on, and I pulled out the wrong supplies, but I still am very happy with how it is. So I've got several photos here. 2 photos I would like to use as the title because the Aquarius is in the title of the picture. And then, of course, I've got several photos. I just went ahead and I printed them all. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the flip-flops or anything. And then, of course, I, just still haven't picked out anything. I also have my tray of embellishments for, like I said, the 2024 cruise. But again, I didn't realize that it was the wrong kit until I was halfway through my layout. And I thought, I can't stop now because these colors were absolutely perfect for these flamingos. They were beautiful. So I am just going through and I'm pulling out some chipboard pieces. This is going to be my metal right here, my metallic. And then I pulled out I want to say it's a holographic silver paper, but I thought that that would be my metallic as well. I have lots of chipboard pieces, and then I just need to go and pick out my ink. And the ink that I want to do is based off of the sand-ish pool that they're in. So I wanted to pull colors off that. So I'm going to really quickly go through, and it's not really fast at all, you guys, but I'm going to go through this entire pile. When I do a cruise kit like this, or just not even a cruise kit, but a kit like this of a vacation, I keep everything. I do not throw anything away until I am completely done with that album, and then I am ready to disperse all of my supplies into my different categories that I have, because some of these categories or some of these papers are travel related papers. Some of them are beach related, which will go in my water category because I don't just have beach or the ocean in my water category. I also have aquarium things or swimming pool things, lake things, anything that has to do with water is in my water category. And so I will eventually go through all of these pieces and either toss them or, find a new home for them, but I won't keep the kit in its entirety anymore because then I will only think about the fact that I put this all together for not these particular pictures, but the cruise kit pictures that they were intended for. And like I said, I was totally stoked with doing this type of layout and doing this layout using this kit because of all the beautiful colors. But halfway through the layout, I realized, oh my stars, these pictures are from 2025 and I'm using the 2024 kit on it. I guess it's allowed because they're only the scraps. All right, so I pulled out several pictures or several pieces of paper based off of the colors in my picture. I don't end up using all of them just because of the fact that by the time I pick out all of my pictures and have all the mixed media, there really isn't any room at all for what for what I had in mind when I pulled out all these pictures. I wanted the words behind my pictures. I wanted several different things. And instead, I ended up liking the layering pieces from 49 and Market that I showed earlier. I just didn't talk about them. So I just went through my photos. And again, I am picking out pictures where I feel like they are the best representation of these beautiful Beautiful birds. I know Janet's pictures are going to be way more fabulous because she was actually on the left of me, and this little guy walking by, she captured that picture beautifully. And in my brain, I thought about it and I was like, well, I'm just going to take my pictures the way that I see it. And when we combine pictures, which we did, we have a million pictures in a Google file. And when I combine all these pictures, then I will go through and just pick all the best ones. Well, when I went to go take these pictures, I saw that how many I took and I thought, oh, those should be fine. And I absolutely love the way that what I have taken pictures of. And actually, to be honest, they're my pictures, right? And so I can see my eye through that lens and type of thing. So yeah, I really loved Janet's pictures, but I took plenty. And so I just went with what I had. Maybe I'll do a smaller insert of Janet's beautiful pictures because they are captivating, to say the least. All right, so I am starting off with old paper distress ink. Because like I said, I'm trying to recreate the ground that they are standing on. It's like a little swimming pool type of thing. And so I started off with old paper, which is like this green. It is the lid, or the color on the lid is very deceiving compared to the color that comes out on the brush. Now, I don't know, my inks are uber old, you guys. They're several years old. And so I don't know if the formula changed slightly to match better the image that is on the top of the ink pad, or if this is just what old paper looks like. I don't know. But it was the perfect color for what I was trying to do. So the next color that I'm blending out is going to be antique linen. And you guys, I don't need it to be dark and perfect and fluffy, and I'm not looking for full coverage. I'm only looking for a shadow basically around all of my pictures, but the shadow is going to be slightly enlarged, and so it's going to just look like a hot mess behind my pictures for a minute. I did speed this up quite a bit because I had probably about 3 hours worth of footage to share with you guys. And so there's a lot that I cut out, like trimming down my photos and gluing things down and stuff like that I really didn't think were needed just to keep this at 25 minutes. Oh my god, it is a long video, but I have a lot to share with you guys. Also too, the new little gray pieces that I'm using, one is an ink holder with a magnetic base at the bottom, and the other one is a little tray with rubber feet so they don't slide over my glass mat. They are actually on sale yesterday and today for 20% off. I have a code down below. It says 15, but if you use it yesterday and today, you will get 20% off of all Glass Board Studio products. So yes, there is that code down there. All right, so now I'm going to be working on my chipboard. I have one chipboard element here, which are these beautiful flowers from the Dusty Attic. And I actually didn't have a clue how to paint them. I didn't want to paint them white, that's for sure. So I just went ahead and I used antique linen all over them. And now I'm taking the saltwater taffy in an oxide. I actually brought in the antique linen in oxide too, because the oxides actually stay on top of the chipboard, and the ink soaks into the chipboard and actually makes it darker and moodier. So I like using the oxides on my chipboard pieces, but I'm fighting getting the vibrancy that I want. I don't really want them to be like, well, I'm pink, right? I don't want that. I want them to be more subtle and more my style, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I zoomed in because I couldn't even see what I was doing in the camera. It looked like I wasn't doing anything. And so I thought that I would zoom in so you guys could see. And I just took this tiny little brush. Now this brush is from Picket Fence, and you get I think you can buy it by itself, or you can buy it in a bundle with lots of tiny, teeny, itty bitty little heads of brushes like this for finite detail. The other brush that I was using that's still on my little tray is actually from Stampin' Up. And so Stampin' Up sells two different sizes. This is their larger size, and then they sell slightly smaller size. And they come in 3 packs, I believe. I believe this one is a 2-pack and the smaller one is a 3-pack, or they're both 3 packs. I don't remember. But I'll have a link down below for them as well. And of course, you guys, as always, some of my links down below, and I say some because not all, earn me a little bit of commission. So in case you guys are curious, and I'm supposed to say that in all my videos, but I usually don't advertise for all of my links down below. But I do get a little kickback if you use the links, and I'm okay if you don't. So again, not enough vibrancy. I wanted something else. So I brought out these shimmer brushes by Close to My Heart. This one here is called Peach, knowing that the peach color was not going to survive on top of the chipboard. I was looking for just the glitter, and the Peach's glitter is more vibrant and holographic as opposed to this Bashful one. The Bashful one is very subtle and not as shimmery and shiny that the Peach one is. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Peach in the middle and then blend it out with my blender, not blender brush, but with my Bashful brush. And this is the result that I get, and I really do like it. It's very subtle and not so in your face. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of them. And again, I sped this up quite a bit because of the fact that I wanted to share all this with you guys, but my video was running really, really long. I absolutely love layouts where I have to personalize my embellishments, whether they are die cuts or my wood veneer, and I'm coloring my wood veneer to match my page or match my photo subject, or chipboard, raw chipboard like this, where I am designing it again to personalize it for my specific page and the papers that I am using. So I love this because I feel like, well, for one, I feel like an artist, even though all I'm doing is coloring. But for two, I just feel so satisfied that my layout is not really matchy-matchy, but it was handmade by me. Even though most of the manufacturers did all the work to get me those products, I was still able to alter them to make them look like they belonged on my page. All right, so these are the two layering pieces from 49 and Market that I was telling you about earlier that are just plain Jane white. And again, I decided to use these as opposed to the words because I just didn't think that the word papers that I had brought out initially, I think they were too bold for this layout. My layout it's bright and vibrant, but it's subdued vibrancy, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And so I'm going to take my pink little piece of paper. It's going to be the strip across my bottom part of my layout, just like in Melinda's. And I was very drawn toward Melinda's sketch because she had that little flamingo. It looks like a flamingo floaty. I love the mood and feel that she put into her sketch. I absolutely loved it. And that is what drew me to wanting to do this particular layout for her sketch. I just was really feeling tropical, and I've got the palm trees, I've got the flamingos, I've got that vibe going on. I don't really have a sign. I think I picked one out, but I didn't use it. But again, it was just great. I just added a little bit more photos to my layout, and I don't really give it a title because I have that title in my picture. So I'm not going to add another title when I probably would have just named it the exact same thing as what is in my picture, which I thought said Aquarius, but it says Avarius. So yes, that's it. I just didn't feel the need to have a title on my layout. Okay, so this little shiny bit, like I said, it's more of a holographic than it is a metallic, but again, I was thinking of bringing it in as a metallic element. because what I brought in for metallic is more embellishing than anything else. And I don't mind mixing my metals. So this is a silver. I've got a little glitter that is more on the silver side as well. And then the metallic leaves that I'm going to be bringing in later are actually gold. But I am a-okay with mixing my metallics, and I honestly think that it looks okay when I do that. So these little strips here, you're not going to hardly see any of them, and I'm okay with that. I just really wanted to use them. Not that they had a purpose or served as any relevance whatsoever, but I really just wanted to bring in this blue color because that is on the little sandy bits. That's it. It's the side of the little sand, and so I wanted a blue ledge on my little blob as well. Again, just bringing in the colors that I see in my pictures that I knew were in this kit, to be honest. And I think maybe that's why I brought this kit in, is because I knew I had these colors and they were going to match beautifully. All right, so I didn't have enough of this silver. So what I'm doing is I'm only outlining my smaller photos instead of any of my larger photos, but the little leftovers, I had 2 little strips of leftovers, and they're going to go up on top of my photos, more like tabs than photo mats, because they actually have the 49 and Market layering pieces as their photo mats. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut them at a diagonal and then line them up to make them look like they have a mat behind them. And honestly, if you look really hard, you can see that it's not all the way around, but who looks that hard at a layout? I do not. So I'm okay with a couple corners not being fully covered. Then I decided to pull out this Altenew rub-on set, and I'm going to pull out, now this rub-on set is available in my shop. I believe I still have a couple pieces left over in my shop, but if I don't, I apologize. Because of the tariffs now and me having to pay to get foreign things in the shop, I think it's going to be a little bit more harder. That's why I haven't brought anything new from Dusty Attic in yet, because of the fact that I'm just not sure how much I have to pay extra. And then, what does that look like for, my shop? Like trying to cover the costs, I guess. But anyways, I decided to bring this in because I wanted a little bit more of this color in my embellishment clusters. And yes, it's pink. It is truly, truly pink. And so I am bringing it in several different spots. So I brought in a messy blob inside where my large cluster is going to go. I'm just using this other little pink strip just to accent what I've got going on top of my picture, my what is that, vertical picture, just because of the fact that that vertical picture felt like it was ignored. It didn't have any burlap behind it. It didn't have a 49 and Market layering piece behind it. It didn't have anything. All it had at the beginning was that little holographic strip up at the top. And so adding a couple more strips to it, now it makes it feel like I didn't ignore it or leave it out. So I really like that. And then I'm just going to finish off. Again, I fast forwarded this quite a bit just because of the fact that we're going on 18 minutes now. And I haven't even put the layout together yet. I've got the base pieces down, and that is it. Okay, so for my wood pieces, these are wood pieces from my shop. I believe I said that earlier. And I am just peeling off the masking so I can see that gorgeous mahogany wood underneath it. All the pieces are just absolutely gorgeous. If you peel that masking off, I know I sound like a broken record, but I still get questions on why things are so dull when they receive them, or when customers receive them. And I feel, not to be rude, but peel the masking off and you'll see it is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous wood underneath, you guys. So then I'm going to pop out all of my little flower bits here. I know I know the name of them, but I can't say that. I don't remember the name of them. But I've got all these beautiful flowers. I believe these flowers came in a monthly box from last year when I did my monthly box. I think I did my monthly box for 2 years. And then I decided not to do the monthly box anymore because of the fact that I felt like it wasn't enough me and it was other people's products that I was bringing in more to fill the box. So yes, the last monthly box will come out. I have one more that I had planned, and it is going to make an appearance eventually. But to be honest, it will be the last one that I have. And then I'm just going to go, with what I want to do, right? I don't want to rely on other manufacturers to have things that match my products, if that makes any sense. So I am dispersing all of these pieces. So I went through my tray of chaos and picked out a couple things, and most of it is pink. I'm very shocked, but again, accenting my flamingos. So I picked out the word paradise, and now I have a small little journaling spot, which again doesn't need to be huge because it's just pictures of flamingos that we happen to walk by. I don't even know where this was in the middle of the square. We just happened to walk by. I think we were headed back to the ship, and here they all were active. One of them actually was like standing tall, but then his neck and his head was face down, and it looked like it was breaking open a snail. So that was pretty cool. I don't think I put any of those pictures here because I was concentrating on the one that kept walking around and showing off. Basically, it reminds me of the peacock that's always showing off at the zoo, and then every now and then, like it's on cue, it sits there and flashes everybody. That's what it reminded me of. So I also found these little matching flowers that were full color from from my little embellishment cluster, my chaos tray. And so I found these just to help add a little bit more color to my flowers. And then I also found some green leaves that were from a die cut set, actually die cuts that a friend of mine cut out for us to put together a toucan. And so I pulled the leaves from that. So my toucan is not going to have leaves, but that's okay. And for these metallic leaves, I'm actually bending them up ever so slightly just to give them a little bit of a lift. And I'm just adding them everywhere. I don't think I'll end up using all of them, but if I have a flower cluster, I wanted at least 1 or 2 leaves for each flower cluster. I didn't want every flower to have 2 leaves, but that's, I was just trying to fluff up my flowers. All right, and then here are the little green leaves that I found. And I'm going to add these because perfectly I ended up with 4 of these. And so I'm going to add them wherever I have a colorful flower. So then it's like a black and white picture, and then you have that pop of color. So that is what I'm doing. And I'm just roughing up the edges to give the die cut a little bit of life. That it is definitely one thing that I enjoy doing. So that way I don't just have a flat project. I did the same thing with the colorful flowers as well. For my chipboard, I did use my leaf chipboards, and I mixed media'd them to color them up. But I also found a chipboard sun, and then a chipboard tiny word sticker, and then 2 pink chipboard tiny word stickers. So I got a lot of chipboard on this layout, and I'm super happy. All right, you guys. So again, thank you so much for sticking with me. This was a very long video. I do apologize. A lot of moving pieces. My burlap I didn't even talk about, but I ended up ripping the paper off the back so that way I just had burlap, and that made a big old hot mess. That was fun. I cut that out so you guys didn't have to see that part. But anyways, that is my layout for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really, truly appreciate it when you guys stop by and see what I'm up to when I have a video up. I can't really say every day, but when I have a video up, I want to just say thank you. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have down below. This was a Mixed Media Mayhem video, and so don't forget to check out the link that I have below. I've got actually a couple links. I have a link to a Facebook group, and then, of course, on the Facebook group, I have the link to the album where people are putting in their layouts that they create based off of our recipe. And then don't forget to check out Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. Melinda, thank you so much for such an amazing sketch. I had fun pulling off of your inspiration from your sketch and creating my layout with your sketch. But for the 31 days or 30 days of sketches, I have 3 different links for that as well: the playlist, the Facebook group, and the album. Because in the album, if you click on each sketch, you'll see in the comments below where everyone is posting their inspiration or their inspiration from each sketch. So don't forget to check out that as well. All right, you guys, again, thank you so much, and I will check you guys all later. Bye.